thumbnail all made. And then I tried to hold the thumbnail and I just couldn't. I couldn't get it up. I'm going to have to show you the doors as we go along. I'm having tea. So I'm all prepared, apart from the fact that the YouTube app doesn't work very well. I mean, there's a button you can press and it says upload photo, Wassail, and when you go in, you can't upload any photo. It doesn't allow you to manage the photos and add it. So anyway, I'll put the thumbnail on after we finish. So what are we doing? It's Solstice, it's Solstice. I feel like the energy's changed today. I had my hair done the other day and I thought a little bit of fluffy bits going on. So we're going to be doing Wassail, Donna. We're going to be doing 6 doorways. I could show you the doorways. They're kind of on the thumbnail, but they're not. So this is doorway number 1, which I'm calling Black Tall Tesla. And then door number 2, Yellow Deco. Door number 3, Blue Stained Glass. Door number 4, Soft Pink Shadowed Door. She looks more pink there than it does in the picture. Door Wassail Kathy. This is door number 5, Deco Seated Porch with plants. And then the final door is LB Art Nouveau. So, Wassail, they're the doors. Now, we need to explain what this reading's about. This reading is about taking control of an energy coming towards you now until the solstice in December. And it's a period in which you want to operate and amend and fix something. But the idea is, Wassail Kirsty. The idea is that you will be given 2 keys. 1 key that's your key for the door. 1 key is a spirit's key. And so the idea is that you need both keys to open the door, and then a draft will come in, and you will be given at the end 3 probabilities or possibilities. And I'm going to use the entirety of one deck to do this reading by dividing it into 6 piles of 13. And there will be 1 spare card because there's also a significator in this deck. So we're going to be reading all the energies, and the idea is you will be given pathways, but you have to choose how you work with the pathways. So, Wassail Susan. Each reading will begin with a card that says, where do you live right now? Where in your now are you anchored and connected to your past? So where in your past did you anchor something in your life that you've never let go of, that you carry to the present day? And is it good for you? Then we're going to look at what energy around you is currently constant. So nothing will just suddenly flip. You won't fall through the door, but something will stay there to provide you with sustenance, comfort, kick up the arse. I'm not sure, but that's the second card. The third card will be, what is in flux? What is changing when that door opens? What about your life will change? Wassail Caroline. And then we will be seeing what's your key and what's Spirit's key. So what's either side of the door to unlock it. Then card 6 and 7 will be the draft. What comes in when you open that door. And then the last 6 cards will be in pairs, and they will be showing you 3 different possibilities, probabilities, and it's about us taking control of our own destiny through Sadir magic. So the idea is you choose how you want your future to be. Now, some of those probabilities could be spiritual cul-de-sacs. They could show you where you're likely to head if you don't do anything about it. But it is about us taking control. So, as I said, I've got this Paul Huson deck, which I'm loving. And I'm going to split it up. And I'm get Sadir magic, which is when you get a prophecy that's laid out, like in runes or tarot, or bones, or entrails, whatever you want to use for your prophecy. And you decide whether or not you want to activate the energy and call the energy in. So this morning when I got up and did that little short reading for you all, I then watched the sun come up over the horizon and it turned white and magenta and it felt like it was being tinged with Jupiter energy. And there is the sun, just popping out while we mention it. Of course, it gave me magenta blind spots in front of my eyes for half an hour while I made a coffee. But it felt like an energy I needed on my face. So I've got the cards. I'm just gonna pull that down. Oh, look, you can see my magic keyboard. So let's just put them down in their piles. So let's put it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be door 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to keep going. Just so that you can see that I'm absolutely, truthfully, and honestly dealing every single card in the deck. Oh, you nearly did that one wrong. There's a stunned silence from the comments as I do the deal. Concentrate on your doors. I will show you the doors in a minute. And then there's one card left over because this is the fact that there is a significator card in this deck. And we have the King of Batons. I want to say become your own Caesar. Become your own ruler of your own destiny seems to be the message which is coming out here. I haven't done the door selections yet. I'll show you them in a minute. So I did have a nice weekend. I was still a bit tired, Adam. So I'm just straightening the piles. I need to move them so that they're not in the way of the reading. So let's have another look at these doors, which I couldn't get in a thumbnail because YouTube are a little bit awkward. So here is door number 1. This is the black, tall Tesla door. Okay, that's door number 1. Pile number 1. I don't want to do that because then I saw the bottom card. So door number 2 is the yellow deco door. The yellow deco door. Okay, door number 3, blue stained glass. Blue stained glass. Door number 4 is soft pink shadowed door. It's actually a much softer pink than it's looking here. It's very soft when I look at it. Door number 5, which is the deco seated porch with pot plants. Okay, and door number 6 is the LB Art Nouveau. So there's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, what we could do, I don't have to do them in order, just realised that. We can do them in an order of your choice. So, who wants to pick a door between 1 and 6? It's probably not a good idea, but let's just do it. Wassail Susan, wassail Katie. They are all so lovely. 3, well done. 3, we got a 3, we got 2 3s. So 1, 2, 3. Here is door 3. We're doing door 3 first. Oh, I need to write times down. Door 3. I've got no room. I'm gonna say that that's 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Door 3. Okay, so here is your pile of cards. We're going to begin with a sip of tea. That was more than a sip. So this first card represents where in your past is your now anchored. What point in your past is stopping you from moving into a new energy? Where are you holding your roots that don't allow you to transform things? So you're going to begin with the card, the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups. So I need to just look at it, and I need to look at what it's telling me about your past. The 7 of Cups. There's something about a point at which emotions warped, but magic warped. It's an energy frequency of when it's like you were building a Lego building and someone knocked it down. It's this energy of, it's like the magic was bent out of shape by the actuality of physics. This is a point in childhood when we shut down our special gifts and abilities in order to fit in. So this is an energy where you decided that your uniqueness was not as wonderful as just conformity. So that's where your life is anchored, at that point when you change direction. So the second card is what will remain constant during this process. So you have the 4 of Batons. I just saw an orb go across the front of that card. There's a lot of orbs in this building. So what will remain constant? Society. The world around you won't change as you reconnect. Wassail Turtle Dove, as you reconnect with your magical origins. This is definitely about enacting the frequency of magic back into your life. I'm almost tempted to, there's an energy of a renewedness, but the whole point is society, the world around you, will wait while you make your transition back into magic. So what's changing? What's in flux? I'm on door number 3, but it's the first door. We're doing them in a weird order. So it's the blue stained glass one. So what's in flux? This is the 9 of batons. Do you know, it's so it's so hard reading back to front and upside down. So the energy that I'm getting from this, what's in flux, I want to say not disapproval. There's an energy in flux of wrestling, fighting, wondering how do you return to your magic whilst keeping a world available within a society. You've been trying to be exactly what society is, and society needs you to return to your magical roots, and that's causing you a kind of battle with your inner demons at the moment. You're trying to rationalize what needs to change. This needs to change. This has to go. This conflict that you put yourself through to go to the party is not your truth. That's who they want to see at the party. So this is inner turmoil, an inability to be. 9 of batons is so often it's something I can't do it, Rebecca. It's really can't do this upside down and back to front. This is the card of the spiritual warrior. You will never be your spiritual warrior if this pin is your truth, and you can't. You're blended into society, but you're meant to be different. You're meant to be unique. You're meant to be your own master of mystical, magical moments, and you're too busy fighting to try and pin yourself into. You're in society, but you're different to most within society. You need to accept that energy. That's what's in flux, transforming you into a really mystical member of the community. I mean, you don't have to go and dress in a pointed hat and long caftans and beads, like him. But something about being the honest truth of your soul. So, your key and spirit key. So this is your key, and this is spirit key. 2 reversals. But just so you have a look at them in reverse, and then I need to have a look at them. So I need to look at them. So what I'm seeing in these 2 cards, the 8 of batons has a sense of freedom. It has a sense of riding through rural splendor. And it's like when you stop the inner turmoil, you remove this peg. This, like sticking out like a sore thumb. It doesn't matter if you stick out like a sore thumb. So you've pulled out the peg and you've become ready to race towards the door. And the Queen of Cups is the other side of the door with Spirit. Spirit has been showing the most enormous patience. But Spirit's also, it's this energy, this defying of magic But with the open cups, when you stepped away from the wonder of your magical uniqueness as a child, you kind of sealed your empathic, emotional cup. So Spirit's just demonstrating that at the moment, until you are ready to stand in your own unique energy, there's nothing coming out. There's nothing. When you're ready, slice it off, let it fall. Spirit's behind that door, waiting for your call. It's waiting for you to choose to pick up this frequency. So, what is the draft that comes in? And again, this is 2 cards, 6 and 7. What is the draft? Oh, let's see, this is really interesting. Have a look at this energy here on the 4 of coins. 2 cornucopias. This one's kind of exploding up. It's shattering forwards with endless thoughts of the crowns you need to wear to be in society. And the energy behind it is a kind of deep spiritual, almost pre-incarnation. It's like being reminded, there's an energy coming in to remind you of how to work on this energy, how to bring your cornucopia up the right way. But it's not, Spirit's not coming in and handing that to you. Spirit's saying, this is an energy that is written to be transformed, but only when you engage in the frequency. So the draft is a kind of whispered spiritual truth, a possibility, something is exciting. There's a real excitement to this, but there's something about this energy here that's the coward adult. You know, that's not the frequency you're meant to be. That's what I'm being really drawn to. You laid out to be something much more splendid, but you've got to work and tussle and work out your own inner emotions. So then we have the 3 probabilities, possibilities. The 3 possibilities. So they come in pairs. Now, these can be good. These can be bad. They can be things you decide to select. They can be pathways you decide to go down simply to get lost to grow. So it begins with these 2. Oh, look at that combination. Death and the devil. So what do I want to say here about this frequency? It's a massive transformation. There's something about this to not transform, but to remain caught in the past. There's something about don't become a kind of, be wary of the transformation that creates a sort of false magic. There's something about don't execute or don't execute the wrong aspects. So this is kind of like an energy where as you transform, you've got to understand, are you going down a dark path or are you just avoiding an not an evil pathway into the future, but are you avoiding an impish truth? Because there's something very impish. I'll show you this devil the right way with this face sporran here. There's something so much more incongruently cartoonish in this. Are you digging up the right magic? Are you going to transform your life to dig up the right magic? Are you digging up what's blowing the leaves of this book? So that's the first possibility, probability. The second that you have to think about as you go through this transformation is, this is a magical because it's 110. Getting a lot of 110s at the moment. I got 110 this morning, but it was the Ace and 10 of Cups. So this is about a new beginning, free of sadness. She stands here on this ending point of grief and sadness. Behind her are 10 swords, and yet she carries an 11th sword. A transformation of your truth, rebirthing a passion for your truth is another of the possibilities when you open this door to let your childhood magic back. This is very wonderful energy. There's a real transformation, as if she's taken her truth and turned it into passion. And these are talking about there being balance, but also how you need to appreciate the pain of that journey, the growth that's in that cycle of ostracizing yourself from your own power. And the third option that we have, significator. So this is incredible energy. This is a significator card, and this contains an androgynous figure, male or female, however you want to describe it, but with all 12 signs of the zodiac, and I think 17 stars or 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Prime number. So this is seeking to balance yourself, or not seeking. You have balanced yourself in all of your mystical, magical consciousness, and you've brought that energy into reigning in your world. You've brought yourself. This is Argene. Argene's often spoken of as being Queen of Avalon, but actually Argene is just an anagram of Regina. So it's being sovereign, but being totally sovereign within the most splendid balance, because you've worked how to return your magic. You've gone back to that point in your childhood when you stopped believing in your power, and you've brought that energy forwards. So that's the three options that you can look at. You could go down the wrong path, swinging, getting caught up in kind of devilish arrogance, maybe. You can go down and you can transform your pains into passions. Or you could go down a pathway, another probability of bringing yourself into total blissful balance with your magic in the world. Every house in your natal, all balanced. So, there we go. That's door number 3. the first one I did, but it's 3. Door number 3. So I'm going to put that one back into the pile, face up now. Yeah, don't ask me to do that recap every time, I might forget. So, I'll have a sip of tea while you shout me 1, 2, 4, 5 or 6. One, 2, 4, 5 or 6. 5. 5. I'm taking the first number that comes. So this is the deco door. This is at 3042. So the deco seated porch door, I will show it to you. Ooh, here is door number 5. Okay, door number 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Door, did you pick door number 5? We begin with all of them on where in your past have you got stuck and anchored your now? Where in your past have you got stuck and anchored yourself into the now? Ooh, an overload. 10 of batons. Everything, timestamp's done. The timestamp is 3042. And the first one was 12 minutes. And I'm thinking you're looking at 3042 and thinking it's a 9. So this is creating a blockage in your consciousness. I want to say there's a sense of sort of mental stuckness. I want to say there's an energy here where your consciousness snake, it's almost like the world became so overburdening in your experience at some point in your life that your consciousness failed to keep loving you and your place in the world. That's what I want to say, is where you're blocked. It's a massive, it's an emotional blockage that has kind of woven a kind of gauze across this part of you. You're not bringing your energy into your body. So what is currently consistent? So 4 of Swords in reverse. Again, do you see this notion? It's like your consciousness is pinned into the cosmos. It's like a thread of your consciousness is not making it through into the world. But what does it mean as constant? It means that as you move through bringing your consciousness down into the world, into a healing energy, you won't fall. This isn't as scary as you imagine. It's like clinging on to the astral, clinging on to the cosmic, but not bringing your spiritual frequency down. But you're safe. You are safe to do this. So, what's in flux? Ooh, I like these. What's in flux? Look, what's in flux? The snake that can't descend into the body consciousness. I almost want to say there's an energy of being uncomfortable in your own skin. In your own skin. She's holding the earth serpent who's going to reach up and bring the cosmic serpent down. And it's weird because most of the time I see the cosmic serpent as something that's much more confident. And this will bring about the completion. So what's in flux is the energy of the earth, the environment around you, the energy of the world reaching up to encourage. There's like a snake charm going on. And it is a healing. The whole, you know, all of those three cards are talking about a healing. So, what's your key? Ooh. I'm just going to go ooh on all the cards. So your key is Paris. I feel like the energy of your thing is all upside down because we're talking about bringing down love. And what's Spirit's cosmic key? Ooh, see, more upside down. This is definitely an energy that's up in the cosmos. So have a little look at those. So, you, upside down as Paris, Apple of Discourse. I'm seeing this energy of not wanting to bring your emotions out of the spiritual realm for fear of them being damaged in the physical. But you're safe. You're pinned to the cosmos. You're pinned to that cosmic energy. And this Seven of Swords, which is the cosmic side of the door, is like allowing, again, this real sense of the energy waiting to come down. There's an exit. There's an energy where you can bring, because this one, the swords are up the other way, holding you up. And yet Spirit has a series of swords that can descend while keeping you still up there. Spirit's been in discussion of how to make this transformation softer for you, that you've got to go into the frequency. I'm just being drawn back to this. Everything's growing, all the warmth, all the love is there in your consciousness. It's just not reaching the heart chakra, the lower heart chakra, the physical heart chakra. There's something about this green circle, this green snake, this green and orange snake. It's about the energy of the sacral and I've been calling it masculine love, but it's really just a different kind of love. It's the love that's missing from most. But your consciousness, your higher heart chakra is not willing to reach down to the lower heart chakra. And that's what this is talking about. You've got to bring that energy down. You've got to feel the pain and absorb it. You have to feel the pain and absorb it. You can't be frightened by it. So, what is the draft? This is card 6 and 7. Happy Solstice. We finished door 3, yeah, and then we're on door 5 at the moment. So here's the draft. More upside down energy, look. And this time, an energy imbalance. I think this is about gripping on for dear life. This is about can't let go, can't begin to merge. Look at all this lower green heart chakra frequency. And she's in red. Bring your energy down, ground your energy. The world's in red. Ground the energy. Bringing this together. Ground your energy. Look, there's almost this crook of the shepherdess. It's like there's something about the need to grow up, but I don't understand what they're meaning by that. Because grow down. It's time to grow down. It's time to not. There's something about you in that energy where you're not connecting your spirit into your body. There's something about you being a stranger to your own energies, a stranger to yourself, because I'm a stranger here myself. Tell me, is love just a popular suggestion or merely an obsolete art? There's something about that. There's something about not knowing how to love yourself, pinning yourself up, not descending into the fullness of your living moment. Is this an energy? Where you can't accept your own life somehow, and you're yearning to be free of this world? Because that is the only upright card, and there is a sense of not being engaged in the real world, waiting for something to come along and transform you, like waiting for some mistress of the world to rise up and bring you this transformation. You've got to come down and meet that energy. So here's the possibilities and probabilities if you picked door number 5. The first is probability number 1. So Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Cups. There's something in the celebration of you reaching Earth, reaching the world, changing your own fortunes. I rain down. I rain down into my own soul. And spirit unmasking you in the real world. So that's one of the possibilities, one of the probabilities, if you decide to bring your full love consciousness, nurturing consciousness into your own vessel. Nurture your own vessel. Possibility number 2 that could come of this situation. So I need to look at that the right way for a moment, not in mirror reflection, so that I can see the energy. This has got the energy in it of you being in your journey now, but doing it very, very slowly. And there's nothing wrong with that. But somehow you fear someone pointing a finger at you and accusing you of wasting your time, their time. There's something about that. There's something about a physical fear of someone accusing you of following your own pathway. And somehow you need to say to them, yeah, I am following my own pathway because that's my pathway. I chose it. So, the third solution, possibility, probability. Ooh, this is absolutely transformative frequency. This is you fully descending, absolutely breaking all the old stuck energies, and this transformation energy pouring down totally and utterly transforming who you are. But the point of these three options, there's something rather sweet and humble about this energy. It's beautiful. It's really kind. Coming down to reign in your own space. Moving through a journey but fearing... this feels like ancestral finger poking. And then this energy of absolute transformational frequency. Everything in your life completely being transformed by the descendants of your loving consciousness to break the restrictions, the bones, the DNA, all these kind of frequencies. So their possibilities, probabilities, you have to decide what journey you want to go on, which ending you want to write for yourself. You can write all three of them. It's, you know, there's nothing that says you can't be all the things. That was so fascinating, how so many of the cards were pinned right from the beginning to the ceiling. Love that one. I haven't got any water. Where's my water? Oh, maybe it's in this bag. Hang on a minute. I've got my baby blue pastel. Shove that down there. So, now, let's have a number 1, 2, 4 or 6. 1, 2, 4 or 6. 1, 2, 4 or 6. Yes, Anthony. It's not on VHS though. You just have to, you know, pop onto one of those sites. 4. I saw Kathy say 4 first and Rachel said 4. So door 4 is the soft pink shadow door, and we're at 4714. So 4714, that's door, that's the third option, but it's door 4. I'm going to show you it. I'm sorry people, you have to be really, really fast on your fingers, those ancestral fingers. So door 4, this is door 4. Door 4, what's the number on door 4? 285. Wassail fib. So let's do door 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a pleasure, Tanya. Each of these readings begins with, where in your past have you anchored your now? So where is the point in your past that you're dragging to be the focus of everything forwards from the now? Okay? So you begin with, ooh, King of Swords, King David. There's wisdom here. I want to say this is an energy of, I want to say sitting on your laurels, but that's not really quite what I mean. There's an energy here of rejecting former talents. Not like this one was with magic. This is something different. This is like departing from, there's two things, departing from the rule book, but also there's something about it. Oh, it's your birth time. You should have had that door, Anthony. The ancestral finger fiddling. There's something about this door that's like, I feel wassail to your mamra supakarat. This feels like a moment in your past when you did something that morally you thought was wrong. There's something in this card that's like an energy where you did something that people would perceive as being outside of the normal regulations. So there's some energy of mental guilt. But I'm also seeing an energy of packing away. I mean, this could be like a moment where you may have been a great sports player and some teacher came along and just irritated you and you walked away from something you loved. It's an energy of turning your back on a morality, a rule book, a team, but it affected you by stepping back. So what will remain the same during this period? So this is the Seven of Batons. What will remain the same? This has the energy of discourse. The energy of, there's an energy of this frequency that plays out being, it's really weird. It's like it's a current disagreement. It's either rearing its head in some form, but not necessarily externally. There's something about this that's a real internal mental energy. I'm on door number 4, the soft pink shadowed one. It's the third door I'm doing. It's not the fourth, it is door 4. There's something also about this, that for some people this energy feels distinctly secretive and it will remain a secret. But that's only for some people. It's a really confused energy. There's a real sense in this beginning of having been childish, of having cut off your own nose to spite your face. And now somehow that energy is beginning to reveal the anchor point, the thing that's not allowing you to move things forwards. So door number 3 was first, it was at 12 minutes. So what's in flux, what is changing? 5 of Cups in reverse. So I feel like what's changing is you seeing your reflection, you realizing that this moment to another person has meant nothing, and yet you've carried it as a weight in your heart, in this box that's your heart trove. You've carried this discordancy. You've almost been sitting there like some kind of moral judge, and you've realized that it meant nothing to them, and actually it's empty. It's empty also for you in many ways. But you've never really, it's been something that you couldn't bring up. It's something that grieves you. It's something that grieves you, but something you will not admit to. If someone said to you, do you wish you hadn't done that, or do you wish you'd continued to do that? You would say no, but actually it grieves you. You're not, there's something about being needing to be more honest with yourself and how you view your past. And that's what's transforming. The heart trove is willing to be filled. It's been emptied by the pain of this moment when you stepped away, stepped outside, removed yourself from something you loved for slightly childish and belligerent reasons. So what's your key to opening the door? So we have judgment here. And the key on the other side of the door that Spirit has. Yeah, I'm going out of order. So this is movement. There's massive movement. There's massive transformation. There's something about being alarmed. Realizing it's like, this is like a really big awakening moment. This is like realizing something you did that you wished you hadn't done, that you've allowed to make your heart bleed. It's irrelevant. It does not matter in the scheme of things. It's old, it's ancient, and you need to wake up to turning that all on its head. You know, you just said about remorse, and it is an energy that we don't really need. There's something divine about this frequency, and not seeing the divinity, not wanting to allow, almost denying yourself a sacred movement here at this solstice point. And yet Spirit's there with, I think, all the energies of things you deny yourself, all of the things you say you shouldn't have, all of the misjudgments. This is 27, that's a 9, it's a divine frequency. So what you need to do is I want to say, like, blow the cobwebs away is the energy. Bring in a new, change your discourse, change your tune, rewrite your emotions is what's waiting behind the door. And I'm seeing like it's almost like Spirit is one side of the door and the horses are almost clattering they're like this, they're banging on the door and you're not hearing it. You're like, boo hoo hoo. And you need a big blast of energy to just bring you to your senses and say, forget this, it's over. You're going over it and over it and over it, and it's emptying your emotions. It's time to feel excited, alive. There's so much energy in this door that's waiting to be opened by Spirit, but you've almost got to turn your key so that the horses and the chariot can come racing in and take you for a ride. It's really strong frequency. I know I'm not reading very well, but I'm enjoying the fact that you all talk together. So, what is the draft inside that door? What is the draft? Oh, you see, now that's really interesting. I'll show you again in a minute. I just need to look at it. What's the draft coming in? This massive burst of chariot energy, and then right behind it, the 6 of Cups in reverse is the future. And this knight here, he comes across this Knight of Batons as being stuck. It's almost, I hear no hooves. Is there something in this where you're shaming yourself? And I mean that the volume of the shame and contempt that somehow you hold this event in is louder than, you know, Sodom and Gomorrah's walls, the walls of Jericho, the sound of the horses clomping at the thing. But the draft is waiting patiently to bring you your future. Again, I'm getting that energy of moving into a frequency of physical love, physical world attraction, being excited. This is a blockage. This is an energy that holds you from grounding yourself in the real world. They're bringing, Spirit's got a new charger for you to ride, a new innocence, like I nearly said forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself. That's the thing. Spirit's not going to do it. You have to plan your future. You have to map your own journey forwards, and you have to begin by taking the first step. So the draft is moving towards your future. Your future's assured, but you've got to move towards it. You've got to release. King David. King David slew Goliath. This is a monumentally huge trauma that needs to be removed. So, what's option one of possibilities, probabilities when working with this energy? Ooh, look, really, really in the world, 2 cards. Yeah, go slay Goliath. So, this 8 of coins is about refashioning your values in the world, the things you love. She's paying a blacksmith. Is it to break the crown down? Is she paying him to fix the crown? Has she handed over the crown for some kind of worldly goods that she can utilize in her world? And is he going to break down the crown? There's something in this smash, whatever this crown, this golden moment in the past that you've made into something bigger. It needs breaking down. That's the energy I'm getting. It needs smashing away, because this card is about the energy of bringing in love. This is the energy of coming back into society. So one of the possibilities is to let go of the past and allow a new energy in. This is 13 frequency together. 8 and 5 is 13. This is really beautiful energy, but I think there's an energy where it feels a little bit like you're not willing to believe the possibility of that future. It's turning this darkness from the past and believing it will always mark your future. It won't. It's about a trust that you have to move forwards. So that's option number 1. Possibility, probability, option number 2 that could come to light working on this. Ooh. So this is talking about what happens if you don't temper this frustration is more frustration. If you can't let go of this moment in your past, there is a possibility, a probability of moving into an energy that's even more self-destructive, even more weeping for broken opportunities. So this is a probability that I would say you don't want to allow to come into your life. You want to work to bring in one of these other energies. You want to feel the excitement of breaking down the door finally and preparing yourself for a new future. So yeah, if you don't temper this frequency, if you don't apply new emotions, you will run into an energy of desperation. Option 3, possibility, probability. Fly just went off that way then. Oh, it's time to dry out. It's time to dry out. There's a lot of alcohol I'm seeing now. Wine drinking. Heavy spirit drinking. And I don't mean... I mean alcoholic spirits. Dry out. Energy of drying out. It's weird that that's coming at the end. So the Hermit represents time, a moment in time. And the moon in reverse is about letting all of these emotions spill out. The heart trove is empty. The moon in reverse is about how all of that spillage then recedes. And actually what's happened is your water meadow has been watered and it's able to grow. So this is time to grow. It's time to grow past this moment when you suddenly felt like you needed to be an authority on good citizenship. Okay? I mean, look, that's a nice possibility. That's a nice possibility. I like that one more. But that's for you to decide. That's not. That's just angriness. That's just being frustrated. So there's your possibilities. The point of having these probabilities, possibilities, is it's about you engaging with your own life to bring your own truth of the future forwards to greet you. So I'm going to have a little bit more water and we're looking at 1, 2 or 6. 1, 2 or 6. One, two, or 6. 1, 2 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 or 6. Twitty said 2. Come on, people. I just need to wipe that. I've spilt water everywhere. When I put my shirt on, look, I did this really nice thing. I sipped my tea and it dribbled straight down my shirt off my moustache. So we're doing two people. I think you all need to fast forward. I think only Kathy's live. So, 2, yellow deco door. I can't believe you picked that one, Kathy. You hate that door. So this is at 69:30. Ooh, we should have had door number 1 because that would have been Tesla. 69:30. 69 minutes and 30. Door number 2. So yeah, there's doors 1 and 6 left. Top and tail, people. So, the first door is where in your past have you anchored your now? What from your past is stopping you moving your now into a new frequency? So here's where you begin. So this is the Six of Batons. This feels like an energy where a victory was stolen from you. This is an energy of being blank. This is an energy of having wandered down the wrong pathway. It wasn't wrong, it was right. But at the moment you still see it as wrong. There's an energy in this of veering off course. Veering off course. You're veering off course. And you there's something about wanting to go back and turn it around. So what is currently constant in your life? Oh, this is really interesting. This has got a real energy of being jaded. She represents a frequency of purity and innocence. And I feel like something took place. This veering off course. This could have, I'm getting an energy of like adoption. I'm getting the energy of maybe a loss of family and being moved to another family. There's something, and I'm not saying that's for everyone, but there's something about this energy of veering off course almost as you begin life. And feeling like it's like an energy of wanting to question entirely what your life would have been if that had never happened. And it's so difficult. They're showing me the energy of feeling like your life went down the drain at this point, as if it couldn't be brought into a different energy. Unfortunately, Kiki, I'm only showing them as we go along. I couldn't get the thumbnail onto the reading, and I'll put it on at the end when I finished. It was a stupid thing in YouTube where they wouldn't let me do it. I mean, there's probably some way of doing it now that I'm live. I wonder whether that button offers me an option. No. So, yeah, feeling like your life began totally and utterly in the wrong direction. It can't have. It was always the correct, especially right early on when your life's in others' hands. It's something about something, you chose this. So what's in flux? Oh, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. So what's in flux is your relationships. I want to say, this is weird. This is coming across as looking into your relationships and somehow imagining, because of this energy of adoption or whatever the word will be for this, as if it stops you having this, and this is a card of perception. You're going to see that somehow within this transformation and this door, you're going to understand that this doesn't have any bearing on love. So what's in flux is your perception of how you can't create a holding on. I keep being shown like kitchen roll spilling, like, you know, like you can't, I'm being shown that image. Like your whole life keeps spinning down in front of you and you keep trying to grab it or push it back up and it's falling. And that's becoming a metaphor for how you move into relationships. And that perception has to change. That's what's in flux. How you perceive relationships with others. It's not about who ancestrally stood behind you. It's about who you are now. So your key... This is the 3 batons. This is about... I want to say you dropped the ball. Or you need to drop the ball. There's something about the smallness of the acorn to the oak tree. I know that's an old metaphor, but I need to see what Spirit's key is. Spirit's key is... Oh. So now this makes sense. This energy, you find it really difficult to maintain friendships. There's a single figure dropping the ball, and in this card, this is about making friends. So let me just look and see. So your key is to drop the notion of being alone. There's something about the sense of rejection that you had means that you almost anticipate a rejection from this door, from spirit, from the friendship, the co-creation frequency that spirit wants to work with. And it's like a pain in the gut. I'm seeing a lot of kind of moss. Very damp, slow. I want to say this feels like an energy of discomfort that has taken your whole lifetime to grow. This is anchoring something so far back into the past. So what's the draft that comes in? What's the draft? Oh, that's so interesting. That's what the moss is. This moss, this energy of the slow pain time is being wrung on this energy. Yeah, there is an energy of the solar plexus in this. It was that way around. This is the energy for me in this deck at the moment, and it will change, but of lower heart chakra, pain absorbing love. So the draft is the door finally opening on something that can clean off the moss, remove the energy that you feel of being an outsider. It's almost like wanting to say there's something about being a foundling, and I don't mean that you were found. It's just the energy of finding yourself in the future. This is joyful, powerful, now, current, returning to you. Returning to you, I don't think you've ever seen you. I think that's part of what's been so difficult. But this is bringing that energy back, for sure. Reclaiming the power of union. But this is in flux because you don't ever allow a trust in that to bring friendship together without you riding away from it alone, thinking that's all the world offers me. So, it's interesting that in this reading, the first 3 cards, we've got 2 upside down. At the door, the world is still upside down, but behind the door, it's all starting to get better. There's 2 flames. There's returning to home. This is really wonderful energy. There's a sense of eclipsing your own emotions. So, 3 options of where this energy can take you. Option 1, possibility, probability. It said it was reconnecting. It's buffering. We're back. We're back, people. And it was 81:18. As I said that. This is about being lost like the signal, but lost in a kind of unbalanced depression. You can allow that energy to just drive forwards. This is not an ending you deserve. This is not an ending anyone deserves. Because were it this way up, it would be moving forwards and really balance these 2 swords. The balance being formed, but there's something about this just saying, move on from this. You don't need that in your life. You don't need to feel an unbalanced depression descend or ascend and consume you. So option 2 on this story, probability, possibility. Now that is interesting. King of Coins. You need to conquer Alexander. You need to conquer your... I'm being shown mirrored reflections, but I don't know what I'm meant to be telling you from that. You're meant to conquer... It's something to do with this. Turn this discomfort, this physical energy, it's this moss energy again. It's like sitting on this green, lower heart, physical, pain-absorbing, non-judgmental frequency and bringing it into the now. He's kind of ignoring it. He's not facing it. There's something about this energy. It is turn your world on its head, turn your love on its head, turn your understanding that's in flux of how you can have amazing relationships. Move forwards. I don't want to say ignore your animals, but there's something about seek human interaction. Don't get stuck. This is a very stuck, unconquering, or it's conquering your darkness and you need to move forwards. I'm being drawn to these 2 different aspects of the moon. Just seeing if it's on any of the others. So, turn your world over, conquer your darkness, conquer your loneliness to walk alone back into the world. That's another of the possibilities. Probabilities. What do we have here? Third version. So let me just look at it. There's something here about returning. There's an energy of the Bilderos. There's an energy of a journey home, but it's not a journey home to seek an understanding of your energy of your ancestry. It's about returning home to you. There's such order in your consciousness, and all of the confusion seems to be how you interact with the real world, because you don't. This feels in flux. This feels like an energy that you can't trust, and yet you can. The whole point of these two cards is you can feel as though everything's raining down abundance, and trust in the abundance, and then you can trust in your relationships with others. You have to bring things into the now. This is an energy of understanding how to trust your consciousness, to feel this energy of, it is like a truthful abundance, because it's there from the very beginning. It's coming down to you, but you were not. There's something about your birth moments very early on where you've never fully trusted the love of another. And that's what you have to do. Trust the love of another. Move towards the love of another. Move towards a communication in the real world, with your emotions feeling much more stable. And don't allow this kind of depression frequency to take hold, because this draft is bringing so many beautiful energies towards you. But this is definitely trust you, trust the world. You have to learn to do that, and then everything rights itself. This feels like there's masses of abundant beauty, physical abundance, not material necessarily, but it's all there. But you've got to learn to turn around how you trust giving and receiving of love, giving and receiving of friendship. So yeah, it's about learning a two-way street on the emotions of communication with each other. So that's door number 2, yellow deco door. 106, 106, 106, 6, 6, 106, 106. Doors 1 and 6 are left, people. Who wants to pick? Who wants to pick? I'm waiting for someone to come in the number. 106, 106, 1. Tiffany's Empire said 1. So this is at 8920. So this is door number 1. And then obviously you don't have to pick anymore because it goes to 6. So, door number 1. Where in your past are you currently anchored? So what event in your past is keeping you stuck in your current now? Ooh, 3 of coins. I feel like this was a moment of public humiliation that took place somehow, of blowing your own trumpet, of moving into the world and being tripped up. Okay? It brought a veil of darkness over an aspect of your life. And there's something really, this is anxiety that has been crept in. There's an anxiety you carry into your now. So what is currently constant in your life? Oh, now that is really interesting. Joy. Joy. Balance. Polarity. And yet you're living in an energy of anxiety. An anxiety. I'm getting more information on the Three of Coins card. There's something about, I feel that your anxiety goes here into your heart. There's something about emotions moving in the wrong direction. Like the world around you feels kind. Is there an address on door number 1? Oh, I didn't show you it. Bit rubbish of me, wasn't it? I got so excited. Yeah, it's the Tesla door. It's 369. It's 369. No, 639. And it's got, look, it's got the sun behind it. I need the energy of what's in flux. Oh, love. What's changing? Love. Why is love changing? So, let's show you these 3 cards. So, you have that energy of anxiety, yet you have an energy of joy, and you have an energy of, you see, I was holding there's something about like broken-heartedness over love, and yet it's like a disillusion, being disillusioned in love. And yet the energy is constant. I feel like there's a third person involved in this situation. This is the energy that's meant to be. Some kind of third frequency, some kind of third energy has got in the way at the moment of something, and you can't, it's giving you anxiety. What's in flux? A loving relationship is changing. So, what is your key? And what is Spirit's key? Oh, you see, I'm being told there's something up the sleeve. So, your anxiety, your heart pain, your trauma is the changing of an old relationship, whether that be love, family, or business. There's something transforming and it's giving you pain. Your key is to kind of sit there and just feel the energy of waking up to witness a transformation. Actually, the anxiety is denying you your key because you're trying to hold on to this. And it's past that point somehow, I feel. So Spirit is juggling. Spirit has a new, like, trick up the sleeve energy is what I'm being shown. There's something to be revealed when you decide. 01, 02, there's something about feeling with the anxiety like you don't have the oxygen, but it's all the elements are just behind this door, but you can't open the door until you can acknowledge the release and the transformation. I think there's an energy within you where you feel like you've been made a monkey of in some kind of situation, and that's not allowing you to let go, and that's bringing you this anxiety. We've got to really try and look at this anxiety. So what's the draft that's coming in? So I feel like the energy that's coming in is a new world, a new life, but you're not engaged yet in the draft. You've got to choose how to engage with this new frequency. I want to say a frequency of you standing in your own energy. From this ménage à trois frequency that's caused a rupture to just coming into your own energy. But I think it's an energy you feel would bore you, but this is talking about there being something deeply transformative about moving into that energy. There's a lot of spiritual crown chakra frequency, like you've got a big coin hole on top of your head and Spirit's putting a new coin in, a new inspiration, but at the moment you're still feeling the anxiety. So what are the possibilities and probabilities coming out of this change of relationship, friendship, business relationship? Oh, that's heavy energy. This is sadness and decrepitude. I feel like I'm being shown shaking you, waking you, trying to say to you that this is really profoundly important. I'm really being drawn to the idea of don't shoot the messenger, but rather do shoot the messenger. Shoot the messenger. Change your perception of love, of loving, of the frequency of love to heal. This is like a willful refusal to heal. This is a willful, destructive energy of heartbroken decrepitude. There's something really powerfully strong about this energy. You're not willing to engage in your own healing. It's self-flagellation energy. It's an energy of yeah, I always think that's the truth when you get a car horn. There's something about this that's self-punishing, and you're not meant to punish yourself. Spirit's waiting to bring you the trick up the sleeve. But it's like you don't, it's the hiding, not listening, I'm not listening, but also like the anxiety in you is making you think you deserve to be punished. You don't. So option 2. Oh, I knew this was all coming. This is the heavy one. So this is the 9 of Swords. This is piety. This again is self-punishment frequency. This is letting yourself be hit over and over and over again and just sitting there in... I think there's like celibacy. It's like, if this goes, I will never ever love again. I will punish myself. Really uncomfortable energies. Really uncomfortable. Let's hope there's a nice solution on the next 2. Yeah, it is a bit masochistic. It's about kind of, oh, you know me, my partner left me, everything's miserable. I just have to wait all the time hoping that someone might show me some sympathy and invite me out to dinner. And then going out to dinner and boring everyone by just constantly talking about this bad energy. Now, there we have something much more interesting. This, right from the very beginning, shoot the messenger, shoot the religion that got you there in the first place, shoot the dogma that attached you to somebody that you could then use as a tool to flagellate yourself with. It's like you're hitting yourself with your own partner because they've gone, the relationship's broken down. And this celibate piety, this religion or the structure of society or your spiritual path has delivered you something to wake up to your own truth, which is not that decrepitude and heartache. It's not that self-flagellative celibacy. It's actually, look, it's interesting on this card. The Pope, the Hierophant, he's nicked the columns of the High Priestess, who's the female Pope. And this, when it's up like this inversion, is just asking for you to release all of the structures of this. It is dogmatic. It is something that was meant to lead you into the wrong place, because there's no energy on this card of the lower heart frequency of non-judgmental, pain-absorbing, emotional love. And you can wake up to that. You can wake up to the fact that it's not been there, not just for you, but for many people for thousands of years. And then you have the card Lancelot du Lac. And this is the guy, he's brought up in Avalon, in the realm of magic. He's starting on a new journey, and his journey is full of wonder. Oh yeah, I must drink some water. I am really thirsty. Thanks, Holly. And I want to say that there's something about he's carrying like a very tall axe, so nothing's going to stand in his pathway. There's something joyful. Yeah, it was really but this is the solution. This is the energy of moving on. This is getting movement through. But I just want to say this is really heavy relationship trauma that's offering so much darkness. Hang on a minute, where's 3, 6, 9? It's all in here. The trap. So you've got 3 of coins, 3 of swords. Okay. 6. Oh, look. Why did we not notice this before, people? The trap. The 3 and the 6 of the tester code. The 3, the anxiety of a breakdown in relationship. And this is constant in between, which will support you while this goes behind the scenes to deal with the work. So there's a 3 and a 6. Here's a pious 9. And, you know, it's a divine 9. So, I would say, you know, in all the others, there's been choices. And these are still probabilities. You could still end up on this pathway or this pathway. But I would suggest working with this pathway. Oh, wrong way around. Walk away from the confines of the structures. Break free and move on. So that's that one. We just got 6. Door 6. To-do. Door 6, which is the LB Art Nouveau door. So this is 107, 24, 25, 27. So, last door for Solstice. Right, so here we go, 6. Where in your past have you anchored yourself and dragged that energy constantly into the now? Knight of Cups. So here I want to say there's a separation from romanticism and reality is the energy that I'm getting. I rather like this energy in that it feels fantastical, but it's somehow still not allowing you to move forwards. Is this an energy of waiting for a knight in shining armour? And it can be a knightess or a knightrix. There's something about this that's a kind of romanticized deception. Like daydreaming. There's a disconnect from reality in this card. So, what is currently constant? So I'm being shown these two as being open to an impossible love. And I'm saying impossible love, but it can be possible. But there's something about the frequency that isn't possible at the moment. Because you're not bringing it into reality. No one can be this perfect. unrealistic expectations. So what's in flux? Knight of Swords. I want to say how you communicate joyfully. I feel like there's something of the love aggressor. That's an interesting concept. Your fantasy is an aggressive, like paper cuts. Yes, rabbit fantasy. It is that energy. It's Jane Austen. It's not allowing true expectations rather than great. I'm fascinated by the dropping of the 2 cups. It's like the expectation is so high, but it's emotionally empty. And what's changing is the aggression somehow. The aggression. Okay, let's move on because that's not fully connecting. There's something about the energy between these two that they're not showing me the full answer to, with the King of Cups in between. But this horse, turning of the horse, but like coming out of, it's almost like in your fantasy, this is possible, this open, beautiful relationship. But in reality, you're standing there as an aggressor. You are being an aggressor. You're frightening away kindness and truth. So your key, 10 of Cups. That's you being open. You think you're being open, but you're being aggressively empty. You need to be absolutely open to the emotions. You need to be so strong emotionally to match the expectations of this, because otherwise it's just, you're not being a true reflection. So, oh look, and the 9 in reverse is what Spirit has. Spirit has an energy of, I want to say these 2 energies. Your cup is empty. This cup of expectation, this daydreaming cup is empty. His cup is empty. Take this cup away. You need to come to the door and offer some kind of emotional trust to Spirit to get put on the right pathway, to come into triumphalism. Because look, he's had victory. He's looking at the option here of these 3 women who are offering, he's offering his crown to them, and they often give little trinkets, and he rides in there, and he's not interested in them. It's almost like he's covering his horse, his journey up, so that this aggressive thing can't find it. It's not interested. Spirit wants to open you to a truthful reality of an emotional journey with somebody. So what's the draft? The draft is 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I see now, look. On a horse together. Again, this is like letting go of all the gold, letting go of, I always call it the Mr. Darcy syndrome. Having tried on all these different crowns, and every one of those crowns has just gone, can't do it, can't deal with you, it's too much. And then moving past that, accepting, I don't want to say lower your standards, but I do want to say lower your standards. Lower your expectations. And then you go on a journey together. You can ride forwards together. And that's in really good energy. That's in real sacral, supportive frequency. This is quite strong emotions, but you need to go through those strong emotions and understand them. So, what have we got left? Option 1, 2, 3, yeah. So this is possibility, probability, option number 1. So here, this is something about coming into your own sovereignty. I'm seeing multiple things with this upside down. It's really interesting having not seen it in this way. It's like bringing yourself out of this desirous, daydreamy energy, bringing yourself out of this emotional aggressor frequency, because it's like you're piling everything up in the wrong order, to coming into this Empress frequency and being in your emotional truth. So this is a 9 and a 3. So this is like sorting out your divine inner turmoil around your inner emotions. This is unblocking. This is spirit assisting. There's so much emotion here. There's so much emotion and it's not flowing in the right direction. But you can build that change. You can bring about that energy. Option 2. As a possibility of probability. This is not healing. This is not sorting things out. There is an energy in here though of a message coming in. A message being brought in. This has got the frequency of a cosmic download. Why are we getting that? A cosmic download, like from another galaxy. It's like there's something about it that's like a light worker interrupter energy, a frequency that comes in to sever this. This is a really significant card, this energy that needs to change, which is this emotional aggressor. You need in this card to download a frequency to bring in a new ability to partake in social events, to be, there's something about this where I want to say you are setting yourself up as an emotional oddball, and that's not your truth. It's a misperception, but it's like this high expectation energy. Option 3, what do we have? It's the last 2 cards. Did anyone guess it was those 2? So the Hanged Man and the 2 of Batons. So the Hanged Man is kind of, when he's seen like this, there's something generous, there's something alive, there's something fun, there's a real energy of engagement in, there's something very shiny. It's a transformation frequency. But with the 2 of Batons, the 2 of Batons is having reached a limit, and feeling listless. So there's something about this which is to break free of the listlessness, but I'm being drawn back to this energy of self-protection from a toxicity, an emotional toxicity that's your own creation. This is to set free from it, to become something renewed, to understand. There's something of like circus energy in this final card. This almost trapeze artist, clowning, not very keen on clowns. I'm not very keen on circuses. I think they're strange places, but there's something of the big top. There's something of the energy moving into a new frequency that's acrobatically emotional. That's really interesting. This is a frequency of moving into a gymnastic, balletic joy. I'm seeing dancing. I'm seeing dancing in this. Pirouetting. I'm seeing ice skating. I'm seeing... It's like being disciplined, but in a good way, not in an overly aggressive way. There's something about the softening of energy to maintain or to bring yourself into a different energy. So, that's door 6. I need to do the timestamps. I need to add the proper thumbnail. The proper thumbnail. So that's every single card in the tarot has been involved in those little stories for Solstice. I'm going to try and do one. I'll see. I might get back into my story I'm listening to. I wanted to do one in the darkness because tonight is the dark of the dark, and it's really ancestral energy. It's the longest night here, so that's always associated with ancestors to me. So that's a possibility later. 3 readings in a day, people. So I hope you've all had a nice time on here. I'm starving hungry. I'm always hungry after readings. I might have some, I've got some veggie burger things, spinach burgers. I might have some of that. Yes, people, PayPal is available. PayPal me /rustling around. And that helps me to get somewhere to stay. kind of want to go into the city a bit more, but it's a lot more expensive. But I want to be able to take you places. It's cold out here and there's not much to see. So happy solstice, people. Also, just a little prediction. Watch out for the 2nd of August. I think there's something interesting coming up then. Because there's a triple conjunction. Mars, Uranus, Shkaya, and the North Nodes. And there's a few other things. But yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting moment. So beautiful, beautiful people. Yes, bon appetit. I tell you, I could eat this table. Yes, thank you to Kathy Twitty for being here to moderate. And we've done all the portals. I took the photos ages ago and did loads of readings with the cards, and they were all really heavy dark energies. As I'm not putting them out. We needed a little bit of joy to come in. So, look, it's Carla la 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 Clayton. I just can't resist that name. So, beautiful people, much love to you all. I also need to shut the door. I've got the door open. It's got really cold in here while I was doing the reading. So,